My name's Gareth and I'm an English and media teacher. I studied in WA at UWA when I did my undergrad at Curtin, and I'm born and bred in Western Australia in Perth, and then after a couple of years of teaching around the outback in Tom Price and Kalgoorlie and then back in the city, moved over to the UK to start the next stage of my teaching career. I really enjoyed doing daily supply, and I probably intend on going back to that next year. I used to have conversations with my housemates and I'd tell them where I'd been, and they had grown up in London and they would have not heard of these places. So I think if nothing else, supply gives you an internal map of the city, geographically but also culturally. The flexibility of it has been great as well, because you get enough notice that you know at least a couple of days a week are all secured for you, and then the others are up to you to ring up on the mornings and to sort out getting yourself work if you need it, or on the other hand, if you don't. So sometimes I was in the position to just take a week off and go and do something in Europe or around London. I think the main thing with that call is that you know what your position is and you know what you're capable of achieving on that particular morning. Because sometimes the agency rings up and says, we've got a place here, but it might be an hour away. So you have to decide, have I brushed my teeth, had my breakfast, packed my bag, and I am ready to walk out and be there in an hour, or have I not, in which case you say, oh, well, you have to give me half an hour and then I can go somewhere. So yeah, you've got to be organised in that regard for that morning call. Because everyone thinks, oh, well, the perfect school that I want to teach at is going to be the school where everyone's good and quiet and sits there and does nothing, does their work, and I can just sit quietly and teach them the lesson and that'll be it. But I think that what happens is the schools that you're more likely to end up building a rapport with are the ones where you can deal with their environment. So maybe it may be a chaotic staff and normal students, or it may be disruptive students and a very focused staff. So as an Australian, I think I've found a couple of schools where I've met teachers who are English but more probably interact in a way that I'm more familiar with as an Australian. I've been teaching in the UK for just over 18 months now, and it's been really good for the diversity of the places I've seen, the people I've met through doing supply, and then the job security of doing something full-time now. I'm quite confident that this can go on for longer, which I think is great. It's not just now popping over and doing something to pay the bills to go travelling. It's something that can sustain itself.